Hey, LOFT. Actually, on second thought, I don't think you're going to be able to take this video seriously if I'm dressed like this. Last night we kicked off a new series called The Kingdom is Like, and we're looking at Jesus' parables in Matthew 13. Now, I know your first question, okay, what's a parable? A parable is a short story with a hidden meaning behind it, and they were one of Jesus' favorite teaching tools. You see, as Jesus was going around in his day, there were people who were constantly looking to challenge him to arguments. These would have been a waste of his time. And so he would tell these stories, these parables that always had a hidden meaning to them, so that way people whose hearts were open, who were receptive to his message, they could hear the story and they could understand it. But at the same time, people whose hearts were hard, who were just there to oppose him, they just got a story. We still have so many of these parables recorded today, and for the next 4 weeks, we'll be looking at the parables in Matthew 13. And so we started out this week with the parable of the sower. So the story that Jesus tells is you've got this farmer who goes out and he's sowing seeds. Now, sowing a seed means you're just tossing out seeds into the ground, hoping that they'll grow up into a harvest. Now, if you're really smart, you'll just sow seeds on soil that you know is going to be fertile, where you know that the seeds are going to sink in, they'll get the water and the light that they need, they'll grow into something. But this sower is a little bit different. He sets out, and he's walking along a path, and he's throwing out seeds, and some of them just land directly on the path. They're not going to sink into the soil. Instead, birds come along and eat them up. But the sower continues on his way. He's tossing out seeds. And he tosses some into soil that's kind of rocky, not really the best place for plants to grow. And so, some little plants do start to come up, but then they get burned by the sun. They didn't have the roots deep enough, so they couldn't soak up the water that they needed. Sower continues on his way, tossing out seeds. Some of them land among weeds and thorns, and those other plants start sucking up all the water, all the moisture, and so those seeds never really stand a chance. But then he tosses out some that land in good soil. They take deep roots, and they grow huge. And the sower has a profitable harvest. So people listening to this story probably would have been like, well, Jesus, that doesn't really make sense, because why not just toss all the seeds in the good soil? But Jesus isn't just talking about seeds here. He's talking about sowing the gospel. He's talking about spreading a message. And he's saying that what he wants us to do is to spread it far and wide to anyone and everyone. Constantly be sharing the gospel by everything you do, through actions, through words, through prayer. Always be sharing the gospel, but invariably in your life. Some seeds will fall on the rocky path. Some people just won't hear it. Some seeds will fall in the soil that's not really strong enough to support them. You know how some people would accept Christ and be passionate about it for a little while and then fall back into old habits. You're going to meet those people in your life. Some seeds would land among thorns and thistles, like Jesus is saying. Those are people who their acceptance of Christ is being blocked by something else in their life. That's what Jesus is teaching here. Whether it's addiction, social problems, these are people who are being strangled out by other things going on in their world. But some of the seeds you sow will land on rich soil. They will grow. They will prosper when nurtured properly. That's Jesus' message to us about sharing the gospel, is we, even when we see a place where it might not take root, you still try. You attempt to share the gospel with the world around you through everything you do. Be like the sower in Jesus' parable. Spread that message far and wide. As far as announcements go, keep in mind, Tea Time with Tom every Thursday. I know we've gotten some new folks around here, so I want to make sure that you're all in the loop about that. Every Thursday from 3 o'clock to 5:30, I am at the Starbucks on Beta Bay, and I am there just to talk. Anything that's bugging you, anything that's on your mind, whether it's something from the lesson last night, or why do we have Halloween? What does that signify? Is it okay to celebrate it? Or just any comic books, video games, movies, baseball, although not baseball today. I'm very sad about baseball. We'll get into that at another time. We have game day coming up, November 30th. November 30th is the UFFSU game, and we're going to be watching it right here at the Loft together. The event is going to be hosted by First Priority, because when we got together with all the other youth directors, we said, okay, who is it who has the youth area that looks like a giant living room? Oh yeah, it's Bayshore, so we'll be watching it here. Also, just in general, next time you're up in the Loft, take a good look at the cork wall. See all the stuff that's going on there. There's a lot of flyers up there right now for events going on. There are promotions for Bible studies, for summer programs. There's a place to give prayer requests that'll go onto the prayer mosaic. Yeah, there's information on Junk in the Trunk, on Wade Fitzgerald's service project for his Eagle. There is so much going on right now. So just come check out the giant cork wall. See what's happening, see what you'd like to be a part of. And as always, if you have any questions or concerns about anything, if you ever just need to talk to someone, contact us. We'll give you someone to talk to. Because here at the Loft, we love you, we're praying for you, and I hope you're praying for us as well. Peace be with you.